Fábio Porchat. Hi, everyone. Thank you. Let's talk about scams and frauds. We feel like fools sometimes, but we realize that we're all fools together. Sometimes you wake up in the morning and you have this SMS message saying, yeah, there's a purchase approved somewhere else. Has anyone been victim of a scam here? Yes, see, everyone. Everyone has already fallen victim to scam. Let's see, let me see. What's your name? We have a microphone here so you can... What? I'm Lorena, and I am from Osasco. Okay, okay, don't worry. It's okay to be from Osasco. So you were victim of a scam? Was it a long time ago, or was it recent? Yes, it was recent. Was it in Osasco? Yes, it was an online scam. How was it? I was looking at the Instagram stories. I saw this ad, like a Black Friday promotion, travel to Europe very cheaply. Then I made the purchase and I never received the ticket or the trip. Yeah, but it's fine, fine. Osasco is better than Europe. You're not missing anything. So tell me, so you lost the money? Yeah, I used the Mastercard credit card. Oh, so that's why you came here. You came here to get reimbursed. That's your purpose? Yes, yes. Just joking. So when did you realize that you fell victim to the scam? Was it immediately or did it take a while? Yeah, no, I was still hopeful. So you started packing, yeah, kind of. So when you realized you were victim of a scam, what do you do? Who do you call? That's the problem. We tried to call the bank and cancel the transaction, but no, that wasn't possible. Yeah, today we're going to talk about pains and loneliness, and we're going to try to prevent these scams. There's someone else who has fallen victim to a scam. Okay, Lorena, okay, you'll be okay. Tomorrow you'll be at a Morumbi neighborhood. And your name? Clarissa. Clarissa, yes, I fell victim of a scam at Mercado Libre e-commerce. Is it recent? No, no, it's been a long time. I was just divorced, and my ex took my computer, my notebook, so I entered the site, and there was a great price for the notebook. I paid. At the time, we did not have Pix. I had to do a bank deposit. Do you remember the TDD transaction? Yeah, and I thought, yeah. And how long did it take for you to realize that it was a scam? I think it took me 2 weeks because I was hopeful that I would receive the notebook. Did you get the money back? No, no. I went to the police station. I filed a report, but nothing, nothing. There was, and your ex took your notebook. Yes. So you lost your boyfriend, your ex, then you lost the notebook and your money. Yeah, it was a series of losses. But you should be happy that you're not in Osasco like our friend over there in the city. So yeah, fraudsters are very creative and scammers. And Brazilians are very creative. We have like the temaki with stroganoff. We even invented the scam that is the voice of your mother asking for money through Pix. Scams are evolving, but today we're talking about technological advances for our benefit, for the good. So I would like to invite to our stage for our chat. I have to check, where will I sit? Do I sit here or there? I'll sit here because it's better to see you. And people have large names. I have to read this as the Vice President of Products and Innovation of MasterCard, Ana Karina Scarlat, and Rodrigo Vilela, Vice President of Services of MasterCard Brazil. An applause, round of applause for them. Hi, everyone. I'm already laughing here. You see that they have senior because you can see that their microphone is better than mine. And also, she's even higher in my hierarchy because her name is longer than mine. Yes, and I didn't even put my husband's name here. So let's talk about these scams and what happens. Did you see that it's a very common thing here in Brazil, these scams? I asked for a few people in the audience, and there are some, and almost everyone raised their hands. I've seen some scams that I haven't fallen victim to, but I would like certainly fall victim to if I had the opportunity. But let's start with the basics. How can we make safe purchases online, or is it not possible? It's just left to chance. No, yes, we can do it, and it's done through our credit card. It's in its plastic form or in its virtual or digital form. They have the temporary credit card or even the recurrent credit card online, or through the wallets, the digital wallets that are also accepted in several sites like Google Pay, Apple Pay. You always have an onboarded credit card, and that is the safest way to purchase online. And these credit cards are growing. In the first quarter compared to last year's quarter, we grew 27%. It was a growth. We are still growing, solid growth. And I will explain why credit cards are the safest way to purchase. Us in the technology sector, we create layers of protection. There's a specific technology that is basic for these new innovations. I will explain a little bit more about this later. When you talk about tokenization, we can say that it is very important in the online world, because when you make a purchase, you will have to insert all of your data of the credit card, the number, the validation number, and tokenization transforms this into a token. It's a random token that will transit the internet encrypted. So even if you have that intelligent fraudster, the Albert Einstein of evil, the evil Albert Einstein will not have access to your data. If he does have access, he'll deserve it because it's so hard. Yeah, but I guarantee you, I assure you that he won't be able to do so. And that is already our reality today. And that is so good. But for you to have an idea, MasterCard tokenized over 4 million transactions monthly. And so this is a technology that is already impacting our life. I took a taxi here. I don't know if you did the same. And today it's a very common experience to use the application and just you get in the car, you come here, you leave. So you just open the door and leave the car. Right? Did you know that to enable that, there is a tokenized credit card within the application? Yes, you're paying without even noticing, and that is what tokenization enables. It's a purchase experience that is very transparent. And also, tokenization enabled the launch of a new solution that we brought and launched here last year at FEBRABAN, and we're also already scaling it here in Brazil. And this solution is called Click to Pay. Yeah, you like naming things in English, right? Yeah, it's like a boy band. Click to Pay. Yeah, I will translate this. This technology comes to facilitate the purchase at checkout moment. So instead of you inserting the credit card number, your name, your documentation, your ID, all of that bureaucracy, the solution will already have all this information stored, randomized. For example, if you want to go to a theater, you enter the site to purchase your ticket, and when you were going to pay, you had to insert all of that information, and you almost gave up, and you gave up on seeing the play because it's so bureaucratic. It takes so much time to do that. But if you entered Simpla website, which is one of our partners in the integrating technology, you would choose the play, you would click on the Click to Pay, your credit card is already stored, and that's it. You've paid, everything was resolved. So it really makes everything very easy. That is the Click to Pay technology. I'll give you another case of another partner that is already integrated, that was here yesterday with us. Today, it's Valentine's Day in Brazil. I went to Habib's. It's a fast food chain here in Brazil. You have several delicacies. Yeah, it's dangerous to get fat. Yes, but then I went there. I went to Habib's. I went to the checkout. I clicked, and then it was paid, and that's it. So this is a pain that merchants suffer with a lot. The retail, especially, yeah, because they abandon their carts. Yeah, that's such a pain for retailers. People abandoning. There's so many babies, doll babies being abandoned in the cart because people don't pay, don't finish the purchase. You know that in Habib there's, I don't know, millions of carts full of delicacies that are abandoned online. Oh, don't tell me that. That's so painful to hear. Yes, this is a pain of the retail sector. And also the consumer is frustrated because they want to purchase, but then because of that slow process, they end up giving up. So this is a process that the click to pay will resolve. Simpler site, for example, had its time reduced to 22 seconds. It's a long time, and that is a large impact in our life. Yes, for example, for me, 22 seconds is gold. And I'll tell Simple if they can go to my home and give me that time. But yeah, but it really makes a difference when you're purchasing, because people want conversion. Habib's and Simpla have already increased their revenue because of this new technology. Because payment has to be transparent, it has to be easy. I just have to choose what I want to eat, what I want to purchase, and not waste time with payment and checkout. But the coolest thing about this technology that we are exploring here in Brazil is that it's not only here in Brazil. We already have over 50 countries that are integrated with this technology. So you can go to the United States, to the United Kingdom, or any country that is integrated, and you will have the same experience that you have here with the site in Brazil. As a Brazilian, you will have abroad. Well, I'm curious. In Brazil, we always say that we have many scams in Brazil here, but is that also common overseas? Yes, yes, it is. Yeah, we don't win. We're not champions in that either. Football now scamming. Yeah, but we have very good. We're ahead in innovation to prevent scams, and that is also within the Brazilian culture. We like innovation. We like to try new things, and we have this curiosity to test new payment forms, of course, with safety, with simplicity. It has to be easy to use. Yeah, I heard something that we're going to end passwords. Can we do that? I don't remember any of my passwords. I have the same password as I did in 2006 on my Orkut account. So how can you end passwords? Ending passwords isn't ending security. No, we can deal with security without using passwords. We have several tools for that, and by 2030, Mastercard has this goal, and we have the details here as to how we're going to achieve this. It seems like it's a science fiction thing, right? I'm sure we have many young people here that never watched the film 2001, A Space Odyssey. I think we have people here who have never even watched Titanic. Yeah, but really, this idea of ending with password seems like 2025, A Space Odyssey, like a science fiction movie, but it's not. It's real. It's not fiction. And we've already started this process, and it will achieve this, because today we use so many applications. We I need a password for this app or for that app, and the app tells me that my password is not good enough. It says it's easy, but for me it's not easy. It's really hard, but the application says it's too easy. And you have to be very creative in order to create a good password. You need to have very good memory to remember all these passwords. And every time you create a new password, some time passes and you have to change the password. So yeah, so it's impossible to have so many passwords in your mind because you have to choose a different password for each thing. You cannot use the same password for everything. But I do that. Yeah, but you cannot do that. Yeah, hacker, the Mr. Hacker, I do not do that, okay? So how will we solve this? Through technology. We will onboard the credit card transactions with the same technology that we use to unblock our mobile phones, which is the biometrics. Do you see this? We're going to use facial recognition to authenticate all transactions. So you're going to be able to pay your bills by just looking at them? Yes, that's what we'll do. And maybe sometimes we'll use voice. But voice is not going to work for me because someone will watch the film Frozen and I'm the voiceover of one of the characters, so that's not going to work for me. Yeah, but the idea is to use biometrics allied to tokenization. Remember, I spoke about tokenization, so we're going to use biometrics with tokenization, and that will generate the pass key. Another English name. Yes, it's a pass key. It's a key to access and to authenticate that it's Porchat who is using this account. And that is interesting because we carried out a survey on the use of biometrics for payments, and Brazilians feel comfortable many of those who responded feel more comfortable in using biometrics instead of a password. So this is a technology and the open-mindedness of technology. 80% of people said that, yes, it's almost absolute certainty of using. Yes, as we use it also by approximation for payments, it's the same thing, but it's online. No friction, no password or passcode. That's what we're going to, that's the future for us. Yes, but you know that Brazilians are also very creative and other things. When you have your approximation credit card in your pocket, then the scammer comes and takes it. No, but we already have mechanisms to prevent that. So if I have a notification that's saying, yo, congratulations, your trip to Dubai was purchased, what do I do with that? I will never be able to get my money back. If it's done through Pix, then I can't talk about Pix, but with credit cards, what happens is that even if you have a transaction, you received the message, the SMS, and you saw something, a transaction in your invoice that you did not recognize, there's someone you can call. You do not have to cry or call your mother. You're going to call your bank or your credit card operator, and you're going to file an order that's called chargeback, of course, in English. Yes, but that's like your question. You're challenging an invoice or a transaction that you do not recognize. The banks and all the credit card operations will investigate if that was a fraud, fraudulent or transaction, or if the person themselves are a fraud. Yeah, it's an auto fraud, self-fraud. And then you will receive the money back on the next invoice. So it's another protection layer that credit cards bring to the consumer to ensure this technological structure to guarantee the monitoring, biometrics, the tokenization, that ensure that these things do not happen, to prevent them. But if they do happen, we have a process to protect the consumer. There's another case in the computer, for example, that she paid it online through TED and she never received the product. That also happens. So you can call us and you'll have this transaction canceled and your money back. Wow, this is like, these are our guardian angel for us, the tokenization of guardian angels. So, okay, now let's talk about companies. MasterCard invested over $10 billion in its security solution portfolio. So if I need a loan, can you give it to me? Yeah, you have to ask her because she has a longer name. Maybe she can help you with that. But okay, how can this investment help my bank? Like, it's great for you to have technology and my bank. If there anyone from my bank is here, please pay attention. Yes, everyone knows MasterCard as the credit card, but MasterCard is more than that. It is natural that people know us through the credit card because we've been for years, the 30 years in Brazil, and we have been the leaders in the credit card market. But those $10 billion dollar investment in companies were done to strengthen MasterCard structure to give more safety. We acquired a company for AI and for security. So we have a whole system that helps not only the payment, as we said, as we mentioned, we have this layer behind the transaction which has intelligence embedded and has it has this intelligence analyzing the probability of the transaction being or not a fraud. And how do we do that? It's through these companies and things that we've developed in-house, and we assess within the whole ecosystem what are the transactions that have a fraud profile or indication of fraud, and we'll understand your consumption profile to understand if that transaction makes sense or not. And then you're classified in milliseconds because you don't want to wait for the credit card to be approved or not for someone to analyze. It has to be automatic.
So this happens in seconds, and there is a note, and your bank sees that note and assess in different aspects if it's permit or not permit Fabio's transaction. Then you move ahead. This is a layer. There is another layer. Karina commented about chargeback process. In the end, what is this process? It is a connection between the retailer, the credential company, and the bank in order to know if that transaction was good or not. There is a solution called Etoka helping in this connection. Etoka. For example, you receive in your invoice a transaction, and what's written, you have no idea what's written because there is the name of the retail, 10 letters, the date, you do not recognize that purchase. In Etoka solutions, you receive more information to tell exactly what is the name of the store, when did you buy, the elements that you buy. So you remember, yeah, I bought it. So if there is fraud, self-fraud, it's not a self-fraud. You don't know, you do not remember that purchase. So you receive help to say, I really bought it. I'm not going to start a chargeback process to cancel because this purchase is real. Processes that you do not identify Etoka helps you to ensure everybody knows that it was a fraud or not and how you process all these transactions in the payment ecosystem. But if you talk about security, it goes beyond payment. The final acquisition that we had is a company, Recorded Feature. This company monitors deep web, the dark web, to know about the frauds, what's going on. If they found things, I explain. I can explain. I was crazy that night. It was a Friday night in my life. This is fake news. Do not believe me. That's the picture. It was so cold. So that company screens deep web to understand data that was available. For example, we can do something now. Credit card number available in deep web. We can access and we can let the issuers know this number is committed, blockaded. This in the credit card world. What is the company that does not want to know about data that is available in with deep web? It goes beyond credit card and payment method, the capacities that we acquire in MasterCard. Another example. Every company is connected to other companies. If you think about car manufacturing industry, they have hundreds of providers. And these providers, they have their website, One of the vulnerabilities of the companies are the partners, these associates, how they behave in the internet. But if you look inward and everything is perfect, your partner can access your site and is vulnerable. You are vulnerable as well. We have a solution to help to assess all the partners. Risk Recon is the name. English again, always. Help to identify the vulnerabilities and to know where you work in order to mitigate and bring more safety to your companies. Not only about payment, also payment, but there is technology of security. Fraud is evolving, technology is chasing this evolution as well, try to prevent it. And that is something new. More than chasing, you have to be ahead of time. Yes, yes, we are ahead of them. Try to prevent something that people never thought about. Fraud is something, fraudsters are trying to do something new. We have to be ahead of them, bringing technology in, AI, in order to identify these trends and anticipate to it. Something that is very good of working with MasterCard. As we have a network that is global, we are not observing just a case that happened in Brazil. We observe global trends and bring this connection, all these trends in Brazil is the innovative. We take the trend abroad as well. Of course, the fraudsters are very intelligent people. They are so smart. Of course, they seek environment and ecosystems that are more vulnerable. MasterCard has all this technology. And on its nature, this activity is blocked. No, do not go there. It's so hard to get in. Yeah, you're right. So security in the future is something more invisible, like ninja. It's invisible, very fast. You pay with speed, and you know that behind there is a protection network. It's a new digital security that technology is enabling. You need different layers on security. So you, consumer Fabio, you are not concerned about the security. You go and you buy your things, you trust, and you ensure, you are sure that things will work. If by any chance, one example, things do not work, we have mechanisms to protect you. So you are safe in your ecosystem. That's wonderful. It's good to know there are people thinking about it. I'm thinking about different things, but you are thinking about it. In order to conclude this presentation, your final consideration, something that we did not mention, I'd like to reinforce that the future of payment is digital payment without friction, simple for the consumer, efficient for the retailers. The future is here, and we are just making it easier. MasterCard in this ecosystem with companies, the clients and credential companies to create this environment in collaboration. So all the ecosystem wins with security and the comfort we take to client. Just reinforce this point. You do not solve fraud at once. All the time you have been working on it. There are different layers of security that you apply in your technology to ensure that you are always ahead of the fraudster all the time. In order to enable something that Anna said, you do not leave home to pay something. You leave home to enjoy different license. And payment is a possibility in all the layers of security. You, consumer, you trust and you enjoy payment in a transparent way. That's the concept. Perfect. Thank you so much. It's good to know that people are thinking about it. There are people protecting us. That's a reality. It's a pleasure to be here at FEBRABAN Tech 2025 with you, MasterCard. And I leave here frustrated knowing that the cards are full. The cards are abandoned everywhere. You are speaking, you are laughing. There are snacks lost in cards. Let's take ourselves something together. So we mark the photographer. Come here, please, so we take a photograph. We look that way, and you smile, make a good face. I know it's hard for some of you, but do it. Let's get together. Smile. We get lower. There we go. So curious, the way we're standing, wonderful. Thank you, thank you. Thank you.